arm movements. Starting with the arms at your sides, knees can be bent or straight. Exhale. On the inhale, raise one arm up and over, landing on the floor behind your head. Exhale that arm back down. And then repeat on the second side. If it doesn't feel comfortable taking your arm up and over the head, you might try taking the arm out to the side. Just keep going back and forth, inhaling the arm up, exhaling the arm back down. Go in pace with your own breath. Doesn't have to be in sync with my movements. Find your own breath pace. And you can continue doing one arm at a time, or if comfortable, you can do both arms simultaneously, inhaling both arms up, exhaling the arms back down, and repeating. One more. If you're doing alternate arms, even it up so you're even on both sides, and then rest the arms at your sides. Squeeze, release pose. Draw the knees into the chest, hands gently cupping over the knees. On the exhale, the knees come in closer in toward the body, the elbows bend. Inhaling, release the knees away from the body, allowing the elbows to straighten. Exhale, the knees come in. Inhale, the knees go away. Exhale, squeeze the knees in. Inhaling, release the knees away. Keep your head relaxed on the floor. Exhale, the knees in. Inhale, the knees away. And then rest your feet on the floor. The rejuvenator. Exhaling, draw the knees into the chest. On the inhale, you'll stretch the legs up and the arms up. Exhale, hug the knees. Inhaling, arms up, legs up. Exhale, hug the knees. Keep going back and forth between those two movements. Some of the times the legs can go up and legs together. Some of the time the legs can go up and take the legs a little bit apart. Some of the times when the legs go up, take them even wider apart. You can flex the feet when the legs go up, spreading the toes. On the exhale, just let the legs relax. And then exhale, bring the knees into the chest and just hug the knees a little bit closer in on the exhale. Release the knees away a little bit on the inhale. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. And then relax the feet to the floor. Hip series. Exhaling, bring the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze on the exhale. Inhale, release away a little bit. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. And now holding just behind the right leg, stretch your left leg back down on the floor. On the inhale, stretch the right leg up in the air, flexing the foot. Point and flex. And then take that leg out to the side, right leg going out to the right. Reach your left hand out to the left. Still point and flex. You can circle the ankle around in one direction and then around in the opposite direction. And then on the exhale, bend that knee, give it a hug. Inhale, stretch that leg back up in the air. On the exhale, cross that leg over the midline of the body and down toward the floor on the left. Reach the right arm out to the right. You can use your left arm to help prop up underneath that leg. Take a breath here. And on the exhale, give that knee a hug, rolling back onto your back. Inhale, stretch that leg up straight. Exhale, give it a hug once again. And inhale, go into a full body stretch. Both legs down on the floor in one direction, arms in the opposite direction. Then exhaling, bringing both knees into the chest once again. Give them a hug in on the exhale. Release the knees away on the inhale. Back and forth with the knees a couple times with your breath. On the exhale, give the knees a squeeze. Inhale, release. And now holding behind just the left leg, stretch the right leg out along the floor. Hold behind the back of the left leg and stretch the left leg up as straight as it's willing to go today. And point and flex. And circle the ankle around. And then taking the leg out to the left, use your left hand and arm to help prop up that leg. Reach your right arm out to the right. Circle the ankle around. Both directions. On the exhale, bend that knee, give it a hug. Inhale, stretch that leg up in the air. Exhale, crossing that leg over the midline of the body, left leg coming down toward the floor on the right. Reach the left arm out. You can use your right arm underneath that leg to help prop it up. Take a breath here. And on the exhale, give that leg a hug, rolling back onto your back. Inhale, take that leg up in the air. Exhale, bring it back in. And inhale, full body stretch. Legs in one direction, arms in the other. And then exhale, walk both legs in. Give them a squeeze, release once again. Squeezing on the exhale, releasing on the inhale. And then bring your feet back to the floor and rest. Crocodile twist. Draw the knees into the chest. On the exhale, hug the knees in a little bit closer. On the inhale, release the knees away. Go back and forth a few times with your breath. Exhaling, pull the knees in a little bit closer. Inhale, release the knees away a little bit so your elbows will bend and straighten. And then bring the feet to the floor. Take one leg straight and place the foot of your bent knee on top of the straight leg. Reach your arms out to the sides. On the exhale, we're going to take that top knee across the midline of the body and down toward the floor on the opposite side, keeping the back shoulder down. The bent knee and the hip are rolling in one direction, twisting you in one direction. Let your ribs and the back shoulder go in the opposite direction to increase the twist. Take a breath here. And then unwind yourself, come back to center. And we'll change the legs. And so that top knee, you're going to take it across the midline of the body and down toward the floor on the opposite side. Reach that back shoulder back toward the floor, the ribs around toward the floor, and feel yourself being twisted in these two directions, hips going in one direction and that back shoulder in the opposite direction. Take a breath here. And then bring it back to center. Exhale, hug the knees in. Inhale, release. A few more of those. Squeeze, release, release. And then bring your feet back to the floor and rest. Draw your knees into the chest, roll to one side, and come on up to a seated position. You may wish to sit up on a folded blanket. You can sit cross-legged or any position comfortable for you. Six directions of the spine. Sitting comfortable, you can sit cross-legged or any comfortable position for your legs as we'll be working with the spine here. We'll be doing these movements with the breath. Tune into your inhale and your exhale, and we'll begin to move with the breath. As you exhale, let your spine round back toward the wall behind you, and as you inhale, go in the opposite direction, making a gentle back bend with your body by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Exhale, spine moves back toward the wall behind you. Inhale, a gentle back bend. Go back and forth a few more times with your breath. Let your breath slow you down. Slow your breath down to slow the movement down, and slow the movement down to match the breath. Those are two directions of the spine, forward and back. Bring your spine back to neutral now. And we'll take two more directions. Lateral movements. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, leaning over to one side. Inhale, right back up. And exhale over to the other side. And continuing back and forth with your breath in these two directions. If the arm movements are uncomfortable for you, you can keep your hands at your sides. And just leaning over onto one arm and back up on the inhale. And exhale, leaning over to the other side and back up on the inhale. And now bring your spine back to neutral, and we'll do the last two movements, a twist to each direction. A twist to the right and a twist to the left. Inhale the arms up, and exhale, twisting to the right, letting the arms float down and land wherever they like. Inhale right back up, and exhaling, twisting to the other side. Inhaling up, and again going back and forth with your breath. Go in pace with your breath. Don't worry that you try to keep up with me, or if you feel like you want to go slower than me, it doesn't matter. Just twisting on the exhale, coming back up on the inhale. Twist evenly to both sides, and then come back to neutral. Open the legs out wide and sit tall. Allow the legs to roll up in the hip socket, not down by your feet, side to side, just loosening up the hips for a moment. Keep breathing. And then pause the legs at neutral so that your toes and your kneecaps face up toward the ceiling. Inhale, and on your exhale, lean over toward one side. Inhale back up, and exhale and lean over toward the other side, and back up. Breathe here. On the exhale, round your spine, pulling your navel back toward the spine. Inhale, go in the opposite direction, a little baby back bend here. Move your hands and arms around anywhere you like to help support you, and then bring it back to neutral. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the torso slightly so you're turned to face over one leg. And then come back to center. And exhale and turn the torso over toward your other leg. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, once again rounding your spine. Inhale, a little baby back bend here. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Back to neutral. Inhale. On the exhale, lateral over to one side. Inhale back to center. And exhale, lean to the other side. And come back to center. Another forward and back movement. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling, a little baby back bend. Back to center. Inhale, twisting toward one leg. Inhale to center. Exhale, twisting toward your other leg. Inhale to center. Forward and back again with your breath. Exhale, round the spine. And inhale, arching your back. And then come back to neutral and rest. Butterfly pose. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees drop out wide. You may wish to sit higher on a folded blanket or two or more. There should be some sense of ease in the hips. Use your hands behind you to help lengthen the spine. We're trying to open the tight places in the hips, but without pain. You may wish to do this one leg at a time. Stretch one leg out straight, keep the other leg in. Turning the leg out like this is very good for our hip rotator muscles. Most of our day-to-day activity has the leg only moving in a forward, bending and flexing movement. This rotation of the femur bone out in the socket is very good for our hip rotators, keeping our hips safe and can prevent injury as we age. If you're doing just one leg at a time, change legs. Using your hands behind you, you can lift up and lengthen the spine up off of the femur bone, lift the pelvis up off the femur bone, and let gravity keep the leg back down. This will help to open in the hip. Keep breathing. Another breath or so here. And then stretch both legs out straight and give them a little shake, rattle, and roll. Sit tall. Your legs can be cross-legged or any comfortable position for your legs, as we'll be moving the spine here. We'll be moving with the breath. On the exhale, you'll round your spine back toward the wall behind you. And on the inhale, you'll go in the opposite direction and do a gentle back bend. Exhale, pull the navel back, round your spine. Inhaling, going in the opposite direction, squeeze your shoulder blades together, roll your collarbones up. Exhale, rounding the spine, hunching the back. Inhaling, sitting tall, making your spine longer, and a little back bend. Going back and forth between these two positions with your breath. Don't worry if your breath pace is different from mine. You can be faster or slower. Try to go at a nice slow pace. The idea is not to rush here, but to go slower. In yoga, the snail wins. Not just the tortoise, but the snail wins. So go slow, let your breath go slower. Slowing down is more de-stressing. One more time back and forth in each direction, and then bring your spine back to neutral. And now make your way onto your back. Legs can be bent or straight. Squeeze, release with elbows down. Exhaling, draw the knees into the chest, and keeping your elbows on the floor, let your hands come to the thighs. On the exhale, the knees coming in closer towards you, hands will slide up the thighs toward the knees, and as you inhale, the knees going away from you, the hands will slide back down the thighs. Elbows stay down, keeping it safer for the shoulder. Knees still coming in on the exhale, releasing away on the inhale. Back and forth with the knees. Elbows stay down, shoulders stay relaxed. One more. And then gently bring your feet back to the floor. Allow the breath to start to move into the belly. Belly muscles are soft. The more soft the belly muscles are, the more the belly will move with your breath. When you inhale, the belly will expand toward the ceiling. When you exhale, the belly will recede back down toward the floor. Just allow that to happen. Maximum movement of the belly minimize the movement of the chest. Feel free to use your hands, one on the belly, one on the chest, to feel if what you think you're doing is actually what's happening. Movement in the belly, expansion on the inhale, contraction on the exhale. Keep the eyes soft, face relaxed, belly breathing. Take a moment to prepare yourself for final relaxation. You'll be lying on the floor on your back. You can use a pillow under your head, a roll under your knees. You may wish to pause this video and restart it after you're set up. Relaxing from the core outward. Close your eyes and become aware of the very core of your being, the central axis in the center of your body. You might imagine it like an elevator shaft down the center of your body, or simply a string in the middle of the body. If you imagine it like a string or an elevator shaft, allow it to get a little bit larger. Perhaps a thicker string or a ring around the elevator. Each place that your mind goes to, allow that area to be soft with relaxation. You can scan up and down that shaft or that string or that area, softening and releasing as you go, as though wherever your mind's eye goes inside, wherever your awareness travels, you simply start to release and relax there. Wherever your mind's eye goes, relaxation soon follows. Keep your breath nice and relaxed, your eyes closed, the body relaxed. From that central line down your body, going larger and larger and larger outward, take your time, go as slow as you like. And as that line down the body gets larger and larger, you're releasing and relaxing. So wherever your mind is going, you bring release and relaxation with it. You start with that central line, and then that line gets a little larger and larger and larger. And as your mind moves outward from the core, you're also releasing and relaxing further and further outward. All the cells in the body where your mind starts to be aware of, release and relax and soften, scanning up and down, toward the head and towards your feet. If you find any particular place that seems a little more difficult, stay there, spend a little more time there. Soften and release in the more difficult places until you get a little sense of release there. When one area starts to release and relax, let it spread through to other places. So you might imagine yourself like a tree, that very central line down the center of the tree, and then the rings around the tree going larger and larger until you get out to the bark, the surface area of your skin. Soften and release everywhere, from the branches to the roots. From the core outward. Stay tall like a tree. Keep your feet well rooted as a tree. Now bring your mind to your breath. Take a deep breath. And then slowly starting to move. With your exhale, bring a little movement to your fingers and your toes. And gently open your eyes.